So, Michael, we've talked so much about all of this, right? I'm curious about your thought. Did you actually like the show?
So, if you'd asked me at the end of episode 4,
yes,
I would have been like, absolutely not.
Okay, you powered through anyway.
Yeah, I committed to the bit, right? I was just like, all right, I made a promise, and we wanted to do this, and I thought it'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
I like doing things that, frankly, people look at me, they're like, yeah, there's no way this guy's actually gonna watch it or want to talk about it. It's like, let's do it then. That'll make it more interesting, because I'm gonna come at it from a completely kind of ignorant angle, in the sense of like, this is not my genre, in the sense of I'm not familiar, I don't watch this sort of stuff, so I'm just coming in fresh.
Yes.
So through episode 4, I was just like, this is just very classic, boy love drama. I didn't
How
feel
many have you seen?
I've been exposed to enough.
Oh, we need to talk more.
I've come across the odd thing in my time, right? It's not wholly new to me. So I know what the genre is. I tend to know some of the tropes and how it's approached, particularly since I spent so much time in Asia, and it's not a big deal. True. It's super common.
Exactly.
Like in, say, anime and such. That's a big
I do
thing.
want to say this is something that maybe we should talk about, and it's not discussed enough online. This show is not very common in the Western sphere, but this type of story is very common in Asian boy love drama.
There's a huge following for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Lots of like fanfic and just huge online
and a lot of those
groups.
A lot of those dramas are similar to this, very authentic, very raw. Many of them have characters that have intense personal trauma. Many of them are, characters are hiding their sexual orientation because they're in societies where it's not acceptable at all. So it's really not an uncommon theme in the East. It is an uncommon theme in the West.
Which is interesting because in many respects, these things are less of an issue, these topics or these types of characters.
But I think there's... I hate to say maybe the influence of... I think in the West, it had to be two masculine men.
I agree.
Doing... Yeah.
I think if you'd had two, quote unquote, effeminate men, or two women, it just
or even Shane's a person of color in that he's half Japanese, but Ilya's white. Like I just think there are these things that had to come into play for it to be the success that it was. But yeah.
That's true. So I've had exposure. So I guess that does make me a little different from if you just pull someone who'd really just grown up in the US and lived here their whole life and their perspective. This is not unfamiliar to me. So I was like, okay, on some level, I suspected what I was getting myself into, and I was not disappointed on that front.
Yeah.
But yeah, episodes 1 through 4, I was just like, all right, I'm not really interested in this, right? I'm not upset, but I'm just like, I'm kind of bored. Which is probably going to get me a lot of hate. But 5 and 6 is where it starts landing. I was like, okay, it's becoming a substantive story. I'm invested. I like seeing some of this growth.
Yeah.
Some of these things are coming together, right? Like the Scott Hunter thing. Though, again, I don't think they needed that episode. I think they could have just done it.
Yeah.
Right? And then just given us more Ilya and Shane.
Yeah.
For episode 3. So 5 and 6 pulled it. If I were to give it a score, I'll be honest. Episodes 1 through 4 is a 3.5 out of 10.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, and then I'd say on balance, after I watch 5 and 6, it goes up to a 6.
On 10?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, but like it's probably like episodes 5 and 6 combined are more like a 7.5. For me, that's not a bad 6 is fine. 6 is like, okay, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right. But without 5 and certainly episode 6, that would not have been the case. I'd been like, okay, I've watched this. I now know what everyone's talking about, even if it's not landing for me. But I just, and I think, again, that's why I just love Ilya as a character, because he was grounded. He was there. He was himself. he was supportive. I was just like, yes. I was really actually...
You were invested in Ilya as a character.
Yeah, Shane, I was like, okay, cool. I feel for you and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But Ilya is like, I just feel like I understood him. And I was like, he felt, I don't know.
I've heard that sentiment. Yeah.
Yeah. So on balance of 6, that's not bad. It's, 3 out of 5 stars. It's hardly a terrible rating.
That's a terrible rating. What do you mean?
Wow. Okay. Anything shy of 5 out of 5.
Okay.
This is like when your parents say, we only, want you to do your best. It just so happens A+ is what they think it is. So anything below that.
I give it a 9 out of 10 because I think it's a beautifully written love story.
Okay.
Even if I do feel that the world should have been a bit better fleshed out. And that was something I would have loved to see.
They gloss over a lot, pulling us through time.
That's
and you sort of fill in the blanks a little bit.
Skips. You don't really understand you understand enough what's going on in the hockey world. You don't fully understand. I think that as star players, captains of Boston, Montreal, these winning teams, I think there should be a lot more scrutiny and press around them than the show led us to believe, like making out on the balcony roof. That's not happening. There's going to be so many cameras or paparazzi if Ilya's visiting Shane's house. Like, I just think, or Shane in a restaurant, talking to Rose and saying he's gay. I just think, I think there were a few inconsistencies that took me out, but by and large, it's such a beautifully written, such a tender love story. And because it's like this forbidden, passionate romance, keeps you really interested. These 2 handsome actors, doing the role. Like, I just think it deserves a 9 on 10.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the fact that it's it tells a queer story, and there aren't enough of these in the world.
Oh, well, on that front, and I'm not judging it on that basis, just purely did I like it.
Yay!
Episode 6 is probably like an 8.5, for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's a
better and better.
It's not like this. It's kind of like flat, and then goes up and then goes up more, right? Because 5 was like, feeling substance. 6 is like but a lot happened in one episode. I think, and pacing is an issue I have with the show. As you said, lots of time skips, and then we slow down. But also, it's like it happens very quickly.
Yeah.
And so it just sort of feels like you get, we'll call it the eye candy for 4 episodes. Yeah. And then we finally get to what I consider like the meat of the story.
Fair.
I just wish I didn't have to wait 4 episodes for it. But again, the eye candy isn't doing much for me, so that probably doesn't help.
Yeah.
Though I did appreciate that they definitely don't skip leg day.
True.
That shower scene early on, my immediate thing was it's like, wow, someone likes to hit the glutes.
Can I talk about the shower scene? I want to say, I did not understand what Ilya was doing or why Shane was so... Until I was watching this at my aunt and uncle's house, and my cousin brother was like, I'm watching this, you want to watch it with me? He was like, sure, but he hadn't seen or whatever. He was like, oh, I'll watch it with you because I had it on my he didn't have the subscription.
Okay.
And so I was just like, oh, so we watched episode 1 again because I didn't have it because he hadn't seen the show, and he explained to me what's happening in the show. I was like, oh, that's why Shane's so uncomfortable. I did not understand what is going on there.
Yeah. I mean, I will say in the scene, it took me a little, like a few 5 seconds or so. But Shane's face told me, I was like, oh, I
had no clue. I was confused.
Yeah, that was a little bold. I was like...
I feel Ilya knew Shane's interested. Like...
But this is very much...
He clocked him, so...
That's his personality. He calls it, and then he leans into it, right?
So it's bold, but I think he does it with confidence. Like he does it knowing he's not sexually harassing Shane, because that could have been a possibility.
Well, I mean, like, even if Shane's gay, it could still be sexual.
No. He knows Shane is interested and wants something like this.
On some level, even early on, he's got Shane's number. He's like, you're interested, but you're kind of this kind of person.
Yeah.
And he's not. He's like, I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
And he removes the mystery entirely. But
no, I did not understand what's going on.
That's all right.
Brother had to explain it to me.
That's hilarious. Oh man, I would pay to be there just to watch that.
Oh, I was very surprised. I was like, what? That's what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I mean, like I said, I think the last couple of episodes, particularly the last one, was excellent. That's where it really came to me. It was like, okay, this is good writing. This is a good part of the story, and I really liked it. So it ended very, very strongly.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the rest of it, like, brought us there. But
what were your key takeaways?
Like, key takeaways? I mean, I got a lot about a bit being true to yourself, but also that, that is challenging, right? Ilya's story, both their stories do it.
Yeah.
Right? Because Ilya's trying to be true to himself, but also there's certain ways in which he can't be because of these limitations, right? So knowing who you are, being comfortable with who you are, being true to yourself and living that truth.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it is. It is, as you said, like, a queer story, but it could have been a story about anyone. It doesn't need to be. I think it's nice that it is, because to your point, there isn't enough of that out there, or at least widely known and watched. But I think that's also what makes it a great story. Is it's like there's a lot of universal themes that just happen to be told through this storytelling medium. So that's how I felt about that.
Yeah, that's a lovely KTM.
Yeah, but no, I overall I'm glad I watched it, and I'm glad I'm up with what's going on.
Yeah.
And I really liked the ending. I thought it was grand.
Yeah, I do have to say those last 2 episodes were, my heart melted.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This has been fun to explore.
Thank you.